The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Writer's Block Podcast NH. This is a podcast designed by writers for writers on the journey to being published. Joined Mandra Biscornet.
It was so healthy and nutritious.
Deborah Monk.
Can we open each podcast with a dance number?
Shelly Devlin.
It was so full of inspiration and sparkles.
Every Tuesday morning live on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to catch the podcast anytime on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, or your favorite podcast catcher. It's time to be inspired, feel empowered, and be well with the Writer's Block Podcast NH.
And welcome to the Writer's Block Podcast. I'm Mandra.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Shelly.
And thank you for joining us at the Writer's Block, where our mission is to inspire, empower, and to help people be well. We have a very important show today about log lines. And we're going to talk about why they're so important for your work and how to write them, and then get into the nitty-gritty of our own log lines and hopefully making them even better than they are now.
I like it.
You like that?
I like it.
You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready for you guys to make this all up for me.
Exactly.
Here's your log line, Shelly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for handing that to me on a silver platter.
Will log lines in any way help us achieve climax? Is that? I'm just trying to work on the copy for this show.
It could.
It could.
It could.
It could.
Achieving climax with log lines.
With
Got
log
it.
lines.
I like it. Deb has nothing.
Not a word.
All right. Well, let me tell you where log lines came from,
That would be great.
and then we'll get into it.
Please.
Okay. So it actually started in the movie industry. Executives would get all these screenplays and scripts, and they couldn't possibly read them all to kind of decide, which one they were going to fund and make into a movie. So they had assistants read them, and on the binding of the screenplay, they would put what became known as the log line. So just a 1, maybe 2 sentence description of what the story was going to be about. And from there, we kind of brought that into the writing world as a way to answer our question, what is your story about?
Which you would think after writing the book, when you've lived with it for, if you're Stephanie Queen a month, or if you're Debbie Monk 7 years, if you've lived with the story for that long, you would think you would know. But you tend to get, when someone would ask me about my story, I would think, well, I would tell the person, I would say, well, it's about, Julia Stone, and she's a dancer, and she marries a younger man, and she has a teenage daughter, and
You start rambling for
Yes.
like 20 minutes.
Because you think you don't even know what to tell them.
Right.
And you get so specific, and whereas the log line is much more general.
Mm-hmm. And I ran into this at the writing conference that I went to when someone said, well, okay, what is your story about?
And
Well, it's about this and
pause.
this and this and this. So it's really important to have that concise answer.
Right,
to
which
the
is,
question.
just to be clear, it's different than the elevator pitch. So today we're
Correct.
just talking about the log line.
Correct.
So if you were at a conference and someone asks you, I wonder if the log line would be what you would say.
I think it would be, if it
I
was
think
from
it-
her, it would be the elevator pitch.
Right, I think
right?
so
Because that
too,
would be
because you're trying to
coming
hook
from
them
her.
on her story. But
Right.
anyway, so that's...
And
Yeah.
But if I'm teaching a class, people have asked me, so, I've heard you're a writer. What's your book about? And I tend to go blank. And now that we've done this show, which made me actually do the log lines, now I really feel like, I can tell them.
So what do we need in a log line?
so there was an article from dailywritingtips.com, and it had 3 kind of points or questions. Number 1, the main character. Number 2, what the main character wants. And number 3, what must the character overcome or succeed? So it's basing it off of those kind of 3 question statements-ish.
Yeah. And I think we also came across a couple different formulas, or
Yes.
ways to create your log line.
Right.
Deb, you had...
I had I found one online. It was pretty simple, and it is
Okay.
what helped me do it.
Okay.
It has 4 fill in the blanks. So it's when blank, and that first blank is the inciting incident. So when blank, something happens, a blank, a specific protagonist, that would be your main character, must blank, which is his or her objective, or else, and you fill in that blank, and that's the stakes. And so from that, actually, for me, that really helped. It made it pretty simple, and it wasn't specific to the story, but it's overall the story. And yeah.
Yeah, and I had another one that I want to mention because, first of all, the name of it is Killigator, which
Great
I thought
title.
was pretty awesome. And this was on GrahamShimon.com, and Graham came up with the Killigator logline formula. So you can you check that out, but basically what you do is you answer several questions, like the setting, where and when your story takes place, the protagonist, the problem, the antagonist, or who's trying to stop your protagonist, the conflict, and then the goal. And then he has a sentence where you put in those answers and it creates your log line. So his sentence is, in a blank, that's the setting, a protagonist has a blank, that's your problem, caused by an antagonist, and another blank, faces conflict as they try to achieve blank, and that's your goal. So he went in and gave several examples of, if you answer those questions, fill in the blanks, or fill in the blanks like you did, it helps generate a log line.
Sounds so easy.
It does sound easy.
Does it?
Well,
it is.
it
Like
sounds
it does.
easy.
It's like, here's your recipe, and then you should spit out
Correct.
an amazing log line.
That will get
So-
you a contract.
Let's see if that happened for us.
Well, yeah, I wonder if our log lines are that good.
Who wants to start with reading theirs?
Deb?
All right.
I volunteer Deb.
Okay. Let's see which. Okay, so I have the two. So I have Searching for Julia Stone, which was my first book, and the girls haven't heard these, so we'll see what they think. A woman must confront her deepest secret or suffocate inside her picture-perfect life.
Read that one again.
A woman must confront her deepest secret or suffocate inside her picture-perfect life.
I like that one.
I do like that.
I do too.
I like the suffocating.
Me too. I love that. Like in the yeah, and that's exactly what the story is about. But I couldn't have. It was only because we were doing the show that I really sat down and said.
And got it into one sentence.
Yes. Whereas before, what did I say before? Oh, Julia Stone, and she's a dancer, and she marries a young man. She has a teenage daughter. None of that really matters. That's not going to tell you.
So that
anything.
was a lot of the details, right? You named the character. You gave a lot of details, and you don't need to do that for the log line.
Right. And so you kind of get an idea. Like, don't you have the log line for Star Trek or something?
I for Star Wars,
Star
yes.
Wars.
So here's one, an example from Star Wars. A spirited farm boy joins rebel forces to save a princess from evil and the galaxy from a planet-destroying starship.
Now, I love that because I don't like Star Wars. But
You don't?
if I listen to that, then
Yeah.
I would want to.
Well, but it kind of also, it does give you an idea of what kind of story. So one thing I did realize is a logline isn't to sell your story. It's to sell the idea of your story. So if you take the Star Wars one and then you take mine, the Searching for Julia Stone, you either want to read about a, intergalactic war, which isn't really all that appealing to me, or, it's
I can't believe this.
But that's not appealing to me either, but that's not what it sounded like when she
How
read
am I
that.
friends with you
Like I
people?
would've- Oh, no, a secret. Do you still like us?
I do.
All right.
But even though you may not like the movie, but you at least know what you're getting. And whereas on mine, you're getting a woman's
Yes.
internal journey
Yes.
and her own self-discovery. That's what you're getting. If that's the type of book that interests you, then you want to know more about Searching for Julia Stone, or then you want to know more about Star Wars.
Right.
And I think that's what a logline is supposed to do. It gives you an overall feel of the story, and then if you're interested in that, then you'll go deeper.
So, Deb, did you use the formula, or did you do any crib noting, or did you call a lifeline or anything when you were trying?
You don't think I just did that off the top of my head?
No, I believe that you did, but you might have let me in on a secret earlier today.
Yes. No, of course I did. I wrote it. It didn't sound that good. I wish I had the original. I'll read you this. But my friend Denise Egan, I texted her because you two said you were tired and it was 10:30 at night, so I knew I couldn't reach out to you. So I emailed Denise. Unfortunately, she had slept late, so she was up wide awake and she really helped.
I love that.
Yes.
Lifelines. We need the lifelines.
You do. She helped.
Another thing that you did, where's yours again?
Oh, see, now this is what, so I wrote, a woman must confront her deepest secret or suffocate inside her picture-perfect life.
Yeah.
Denise came back with, she liked the first line, a woman must confront her deepest secret, and then she added, or suffocate from the picture-perfect life she's created for herself.
Yeah, it does change it. It's the same sentence, but it changes.
Yes. Do you guys want to vote?
I like this one.
I
The
liked mine too. Sorry, Denise.
Suffocate inside her
Yeah.
picture perfect life.
Yeah, I felt like it was more active.
And that's another thing that we came across in our research is to use those really strong verbs. And I think that's why
Yes.
we like suffocate so
Yes.
much because it's a very active verb.
Right. No, I did for well-behaved woman coming undone. I did that as well, and I do have my first version. I'll read you the last version. But Denise really helped this one. An unexpected pregnancy challenges the daughter of an alcoholic to either confront her family's legacy of abandonment or risk passing generational wounds onto her daughter. Ooh. No, I didn't write it that well at first. An unexpected pregnancy forces the daughter of an alcoholic to confront the family's legacy of abandonment, or she will pass the generational wounds onto her own daughter. See, she had me put challenges at the beginning, so challenges her to choose rather than A or B. I know it's kind of hard when you're hearing it and not looking at it, but
Yeah.
Denise definitely made that one better. I still feel like it's a little bit long. I'd like
That's
it to
what
be.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, that it still feels a little lengthy.
I agree. And kind of heavy words, family, legacy of abandonment, but generational wounds is what it's about.
Yeah.
Or trying to find a way to heal or to cut off the passing on of the generational wounds, and that if you don't do that, it will just continue to kind of fester throughout your family.
Yeah. We
So,
might need to shave it up a
I
bit.
think
though,
we do.
somehow.
So there's mine. But
Okay.
still, when we do our walk around, when we do our project update today, that's my project update. I now have my log lines.
All right, that segment just got a lot shorter.
Yep. Hope you girls have some
We've
stuff
already
for
walked
that.
around there. Okay. Shell, what do
Yes,
you have
tell
for
us
us?
yours.
So, yeah, I went with the little formula, and I think it was harder because I'm crossing over from memoir to self-help and changing the genre of the book. But what I had was an inspiring hairdresser shares her life and her chair to befriend her clients to be the best they can be. I think it's a little flat. Like, I like the beginning, but that last...
I like the beginning
I
better
like the beginning,
too.
but that last, like, meh, it goes...
I wanted to
meh.
I wanted them to be launched
Right,
from the chair.
and it doesn't launch. It just goes down.
Can we-
It's a slow down.
Read it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
An inspiring hairdresser shares her life and her chair to befriend her clients to be the best they can be.
Okay. So I
See-
like the life and chair. Shares
Yeah.
her life and chair.
Yeah, love that.
Befriend.
It's not. It's the befriend. We
It's
got to
the
get rid
befriend?
of that.
Okay, we need to change befriend. And inspiring needs to be in there because the thread of the entire book is inspire.
Exactly. What if we went, a hairdresser shares her life and chair to inspire her
Ooh.
clients to be the best they can be?
Jeez, I'm telling you. How
Or
simple
somehow
was
to
that?
launch.
I do like, because of the chair. You want to
like
think of the chair
that.
as like she has
The hydraulic, okay.
to inspire and launch her clients.
To inspire her clients and launch them into their best life, or
Launch them into their dreams.
Launch.
No? Into...
We're going to have a lot of dead air here.
Ooh, there's a lot of thinking going on. We need to make
Maybe
noises.
we should, yeah.
A hairdresser shares her life and her chair, inspiring her clients and launching them. No, it's still too long.
It's
It's one
too-
big
yeah,
run-on. One big run-on. This is better, though.
then maybe
This
we
is
keep
better.
the inspiring with the hairdresser.
Okay.
An inspiring hairdresser
Okay.
shares her life and her chair to
Launch her clients into the life of their dreams.
Something about fear, something about that chair makes them safe. I'm like a bartender, so they just
Hey,
unleash.
Hey, Jonathan.
Maybe you
yeah,
could change your
come
name
on.
to Sam.
Sam
Be
the
the guy
bartender?
from Cheers.
Oh.
Everybody
Jonathan's
loves,
good
yeah,
at quick
right?
copywriting.
I know.
Any
any
suggestions?
thoughts?
That's not how Jonathan works.
No, he's
Jonathan
not.
Under
can't
pressure?
pay attention to what's going on up there
I
and
see.
write the copy over here.
All right. Well, I'm going to send this to you later, Jonathan. You
Okay.
can work on it for me.
Yeah, that's what I want is homework.
I'm going to work on that.
Okay.
I think it's good. It's
getting better.
It's better.
Right.
I love, like, what did we do? Like 30 seconds of boop, 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 back and forth.
Right.
and
So
then it's
imagine what will
already
happen at our writing group.
on
Thursday.
Thursday. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to read
I
mine.
got this.
Okay.
I have two. I
Okay.
have two versions.
Listening.
They probably both need help, but here we go. Here's the first one. A story of two resilient sickos and how they survived illness, family, and the medical system.
I know you love sickos. I don't love sickos. I'm not a fan of the sickos. I mean, you're sick. You were
Yeah.
both sick. But sickos makes you
Isn't-
crazy.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be funny about it.
Okay. All
It-
right.
but
There's
the-
got to be some humor in.
right.
Because she is that is her. But if we didn't know you and we just picked it up, are we going to think that you're
It
Crazy?
does. It sounds like a comedy book when you use sickos.
All right.
It's like a.
So I have to
Not saying you
use-
got to take it out. I'm just
I
saying.
know. I don't
Okay.
know that it's. I love it. I do like it, but I
Yeah.
don't know that it's actually representative of your book as well. All right, what's the second one?
Yeah. What's the second one?
We'll have
She's
to
going to use
change the name.
sickos twice.
She still has sickos in there, huh?
That's okay. Read it the way you have it.
I mean, I could change it. I'll change it for now. I'll just say a couple.
No, read it the way you have it.
Okay. How two resilient sickos leveraged the universe to get a heart and finish the fairy tale.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Minus the
yeah.
sickos.
I don't know. I'm
You
kind
like-
of
oh, you're
being
good-
won over by sickos on
Well,
that one.
especially in that one. I don't like the word leverage.
Oh
though.
my God.
Okay.
Leverage
No?
was the best part
But
of that.
you-
I
Universe
loved it
and
because I felt
fairy
like she
tales.
launched with leverage. Like it was like this.
I see.
catapult.
Leverage is not a.
That was a strong, active verb
I
right
don't think.
there.
Catapult.
Don't make me get out the dictionary again, there, Mr. Marion Webster, Mrs. Whatever. I
All
don't
right,
know
wait,
that
read it
leverage
again.
is an active verb.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think it is.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
see your
I
leverage.
saw the catapult in my head.
Yeah, but catapult is not what you said.
Okay. Oh, all right.
No, it's not what I said, but that's
But
the
the
image
catapult
you got.
does launch.
Let me read it again. How two resilient sickos leverage the universe to get a heart and finish the fairy tale.
This isn't good, but how about masters the universe or?
Worse.
Yeah, I know that's
Yeah,
not master the
no.
universe, but
If you could see Deb, she's moving her
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
right now.
like-
She's trying to
Yeah,
pull
you know what I
something
mean?
from the universe.
Like capture.
manifest, capture, but control, like whip into shape, train.
Oh, like lasso,
But I-
like a lasso,
but-
like
like tap in or but
God.
uh,
See now the
gonna-
audience is on it.
the words that are coming out of my mouth.
oh, I love that.
They don't.
Awesome.
Oh, Jonathan, you've never used that one before. That's great.
That is exactly what was happening.
I think the-
I love it.
I think the important part is we all it seemed liked the third, and we just feel like it needs a
second.
tiny
The
bit.
second.
Second, I'm sorry, but we
So
just
we have to work on this one.
yeah. Read that one again, please.
Okay.
The second one.
How two resilient sickos leverage the universe to get a heart and finish the fairy tale.
I just love it.
Leverage.
I
the-
would actually consider reading that book.
Right.
Oh.
And
Even with the sickos or change?
He
for the
likes
record,
sickos.
I'm not a reader. So
You're a writer.
You're a
established.
writer.
I don't read much. But I would consider reading that.
Okay. Leverage, I think, is the right word.
Leverage.
Well, it
It's
is
like a
your
s-
log line. The only thing is, I will say, let me see you leverage. So it's not an active verb. No,
Okay,
that
listen.
nobody
Our
says
biggest
it has
fan,
to be.
Brenda, is going to be the tiebreaker here.
What do you
right?
mean?
So
Let
we
me
expect
see
a
you
text from
leverage.
her.
Oh God, what do you mean?
Let me
you want to see me jump? I can jump. You want to see me leverage?
Yeah, but you
You
do a
want-
lot of things to leverage.
You just lean opposite somebody holding hands and you've leveraged.
Oh Lord.
You take
Hey,
you take
you need to come to my workshop on leverage and dancing that I teach clearly because you don't understand it yet.
Oh my God. No, I love
Actually, I'm
that
just
verb.
kidding. That's his. And it's your thing.
All right. Well, we can discuss this also at our meeting
Absolutely.
on Thursday and
yes.
see if we can.
and
Come
if
up
we
with,
come up with
yes.
something better, great. But if we don't,
And what would you come up with instead of like? I don't want to say a man and a woman or a couple.
I think sickos.
two resilient people. I don't know. Doesn't have the same.
Right. But sickos is funny when you put it with the fairy tale and the get a new heart. I feel like you can sense that person's. In that one, I can sense that
And not
she's
just
funny.
a crazy person.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So clearly we have homework. Also, the other thing is we should reach out to our listeners. There's just the three of us and Jonathan, 4, if he's paying attention to us, sitting here. we have our listeners. Maybe they have some verbs.
thoughts.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I
We'd
know.
love to
Yeah.
get some feedback.
If anybody makes, I will offer a prize.
Oh,
So if
okay.
anybody sends in a better log line for either of my stories, you will get a prize.
Do you want to say what the prize is?
No,
She
because
doesn't
I
know
don't
what
know
it is
yet.
yet.
Wait, are we exempt from the prizes?
Absolutely not.
Oh, we can get a prize too.
Woohoo! You can get a prize for your own
All
log
right.
line.
Well, we have to do our walk around the neighborhood,
Yes, please.
which
Oh, well, I get to go first.
Oh.
You guys, do you remember that once at one of our very first shows, you said you said you wanted music? Well, there you now have music.
thank you.
You played
Deb.
that
Yes.
with your own fingers.
I did.
I
And
love it.
so if anyone's interested in seeing that, I will post the video today where I surprised the girls. I went and took 3 piano lessons. Now, granted, my mother would be glad to know that I had many piano lessons when I was young, but I went on Craigslist, bought a what's that thing called?
Keyboard.
that
Keyboard, thank
keyboard.
you. Bought a keyboard, took 3 lessons, and then surprised your girls. And so
That was
that
so
video will
fun.
be on our writer's block today.
That was so much fun.
So that's my contribution to the writer's block.
Thank you.
It's a musical.
Musical contribution.
Yes.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right. Shell,
Rocketing over here
Yes.
to our Inspiration Square.
let's do it.
So I'm going to give a few, I'm going to give a shout out to my Instagram friend at What Donna Hamilton Does. It's Teammate Tuesday in our world, and she is an amazing hairdresser and artist. And I will post on our Facebook page all the great things that she does. And she had this great compiling of hair that when you look at it, you won't realize that it's actually hair because it's
Oh,
sculpted
cool.
into these beautiful shapes. And I will post that. But at What Donna Hamilton Does is her Instagram. And check her out because it's a pretty inspiring world that I live in.
Nice. So it's hair art.
Hair art. You got it.
All
Heart.
right.
Heart.
Ooh.
Oh, and let's
yeah.
bring that over to Mandra.
Let's leverage that.
Let's leverage that over to Mandra. We just,
Oh, I just saw
And
you
the
leverage.
scale
I
just
guess
tipped
it is
your way.
acting.
See that?
that was good.
That was beautiful.
That was
a
beautiful.
thing. And so, at Mandra's Wellness Corner, speaking of heart, it is my husband's 10th heart anniversary. This is actually the day after Memorial Day, so depending on when that we hear this. But he has had his brand new heart for 10 years.
Wow.
So it's a huge anniversary for us. And what I was going to talk about in the next few podcasts was making gratitude a habit. Because we are so grateful to not only the doctors and nurses, the donor family, and all the people that helped us get to that point. And so I'm going to talk about how you can make gratitude part of your daily life for big things like this, but also for small things and for everyday things. And what that will do will kind of help you catapult into your day in a good,
Yes.
in a good mood, with a good perspective, and keep those things coming your way. So over the next few podcasts, I'm going to talk a lot about gratitude and how to work it into your life. And
Having an attitude of gratitude.
exactly. And the power behind living that way.
Love it.
Wonderful. I love gratitude. I think I'd almost like to say it would be almost, if someone asked me what religion I am, I think I would say that.
Well, it's a huge piece of all religions.
Right.
But you don't have to be religious.
Right.
To
Yes.
And
Be
it's minus the
grateful.
fear
Right.
that goes along with a lot of religions.
So let's dance on over to Deb's Life Pondering Square. Is that your contribution?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
that
sorry.
Was my
I'm sorry.
Yes. Jonathan, play that again. DJ.
Yes, let's hear it one more time.
Next week we'll no, I'm kidding. Next week we'll have a dance. No, the girls won't let me dance. Damn it. I love that last.
Beautiful, Deb. Beautiful. Well, thank you for listening. And please send us your thoughts on log lines because we clearly could use a little more help in that department. Check out the Writer's Block NH Facebook and the Writer's Block podcast on Podbean and your favorite podcast catcher. May you be inspired, feel empowered, and be well. attention cigar smokers or even friends of a cigar smoker. If you're looking to relax with a nice premium cigar or looking for a great gift for a cigar smoker, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Our friends at twoguyscigars.com have created the Cigar of the Month Club. For just $19.99 per month, you or a friend will receive 4 different premium handmade cigars every month, and shipping and handling is included.
Contact twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com, and go to the Cigar of the Month Club. You can stop anytime because there's no contract, but you won't. This is a tremendous deal for our listeners. Go to twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com, and click the Cigar of the Month Club.
At the same time, if you want to learn more about the cigars you receive each month, you can smoke along with them on our own podcast called The Cigar Authority. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice premium cigar from our friends at twoguyscigars.com.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.